Hey guys, welcome back. How's it going? Today, we are going to be doing a bit of a weird tier list, right? Kind of what I've kind of wanted to do because it is weird, but it's kind of fun. So, I happen to have written a script for a video that is yet to be made. It's recorded, it's just not edited. And that is 3 badass old women that could be an FGO. And it made me realize we really don't have any grandmas in this game. We have a bunch of old men. We don't have any grandmas. We've got like one, and she's like kind of one, and that's it. So I am going to have us now go through, and as I, we're not just going to do the old people because it's not going to be a very long list. We're expanding this into a category that I have dubbed MILFs, DILFs, Silver Foxes, and Gilves. And we are going to rate them based entirely on how much of an old person we take them as. Now, we can maybe we can adjust that a little bit. Maybe it could lean more into, like, do you want this person as your parent and or grandparent? Let's do that. You know what? That's more fun. Do you want this person as your parent or grandparent? And the selection of servants that I have chosen are all characters that they either have kids, are an old man, or are an old woman. Now, this is by far not comprehensive because you'll take notice that Caesar is not on this list, for instance. Caesar had kids. Lots of heroic spirits had kids. The difference is, though, I'm not trying to have every heroic spirit on here. I'm mostly going into the characters that actively discuss having their kids, or that's like a thing that is a part of their servant graph. So, for instance, a character like fucking Hokusai. Hokusai having a daughter is incredibly important to Hokusai as a person. Same for somebody like Bakin, right? So, this does not have every character that would fit into this category. So, we're just gonna go into it and talk a bit about this. All right, this is all arbitrary, just for good fun. And then I do have a I do have something that I want to we're gonna be doing one of these again, chat. But this is gonna have to wait till the end when we do one of these. So be ready. Ku is actually not on here. What is a silver fox? It is the male equivalent of a gilf. I don't believe I put Maeve on this list either. You wanna know why? Maeve doesn't have MILF energy. Manon doesn't have MILF energy either. So for a lot of the ones that were picked that aren't explicitly parents or our parents, it's just like entirely based on personality. But Enma does. Look, we need to... Okay, listen. If we're going to start ripping me apart for who is and isn't on this list, then please, by all means, make a comprehensive list and send it to me so we can do it. I'm trying to keep this as a show that can be done in under 2 hours. And that's fucking pushing it, right? Sorry, I just joined. What's the tier list about? Read the title of the stream, please. Yeah, we're gonna get into this. So... Chat, do you want Boudica as your mom? How much do you want Boudica as your mom? I'm seeing yes, 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 no to both. I thought the title was a joke. Fuck. I'm saying no. Big sister, yes. Aunt, yes. I think you meant to say exuades, but yes. Yeah, Boudica's a strong fucking contender. Boudica is like an S tier. She's an S tier mom. Like, nah, she's cool. Boudica's cool. Boudica cares so much about her kids that when shit went down, she literally fought to the death for them. So I'm thinking that, yeah, I'm gonna put Boudica in an S. That's a good mom right there. Just don't mention Rome. I have nothing good to say about them, so I won't.
Oh yay, me of tier list.
Yes.
Avenger, Boudica, and lasagna, you cowards.
So this is an interesting one. Tesla. Now, you may note, Tesla very famously died a virgin, right? He fits into the old man territory. While he doesn't appear as an old man in Fate, he died at the age of, I want to say, 89. Fucker lived for a while.
Oh yay.
Do you want Tesla as your dad, chat? Is this someone who you want as your father? Weird uncle. Yeah. He had a pigeon? No, he didn't fuck the pigeon. He married the pigeon, but he didn't fuck the pigeon. He's more focused on... Yeah, he's like a D tier. I don't think I'd want him as a dad. He just seems kind of like a fucking dick. I don't know. He's giving me... He gives weird vibes. He cried when his pigeon partner died? Eh. I give Tesla a D. It don't do it for me. Put him down there. Alright. Is Thenia in chat? Did Thenia even fucking show up to this list that she helped make? I put Waver on this list just because she asked me to, and her ass ain't here. Alright. Waver. Now, it should be noted, Waver is in the old man category as well. With that said, Waver's in his 30s. I'm not gonna be one of those people that says 30s is old. No, I'm not doing that shit. But again, it was requested of me to put Waver on this list. He's 29. In FGO, I believe he's he's 34 in the events of Strange Fake. I'm pretty sure. And he is technically Gray's, like, adopted dad. More or less. I think C. Yeah, old and weird single uncle is very much the theme of this video. Would make him a DILF? Alright, I'm putting him in C tier. He'd be annoying as a father, but a great relative or mentor. Yeah, I could see that. Okay. Shiki. Shiki is, of course, a mom. We've seen her kid in FGO. We've seen both her kid and her husband in FGO now. Like, don't let anybody fool you. Shiki is a mom, and I think a pretty good mom at that. Has a stable family, unlike most, yeah? She's not parent vibes, she's best friend vibes, but she seems like she'd be a good mom. I think she'd be a good mom. Yeah, she seems like a good mom. So I'm gonna put her up here. No one would dare touch me if she's my mom. Yeah, no. She's literally got the look. Babysitter vibes? No. Yeah, this is the mom that all your friends are like, dude, your mom's so fucking hot. It's just like, shut up. Shut up. All right. Bab. Ugh. Da Bab. Bab's an old man. He counts for the old man list. He died as an old man. So he wouldn't be your dad. You want him as your grandpa. He would fit the grandpa category, I think. Dad or grandpa. I mean, I guess he's kind of like Fran's adopted dad, isn't he? He's more of an adopted father to Fran than fucking Moriarty is. And I feel like he takes really good care of Fran. He like really cares about Fran. He seems like a really good father figure. You know what I mean? I think notification scared the fuck out of me. Moriarty's just there for the happy parts, while Bab is there all the... Yeah, no, Bab seems like a really good, like, dad or grandpa. See, I think he goes there. Yeah, no, yeah, Bab's great. Fantastic. Alright. Vlad, good, because it should be mentioned, other Vlad is also here. We do have Angie Vlad and normal Vlad. So for this Vlad, this rendition of Vlad, what are we thinking? Another member of the grandpa, like, maybe great uncle type shit. He seems like he'd be a solid, pretty solid father figure, I think. He'd knit you scarves and gloves. Yeah, no, I can see that. I think A is good. He seems like an A tier. I think that the one thing that's keeping him out of S is that it's like the family member that you have that won't, like, he has to bring up the war every now and then. You know what I mean? And it's just like, Vlad, we get it, man. We get it. We understand the war was hard. You were exiled 3 times. We know, dude. Also, I have a fear of needles, so, yeah. The violent murderer is a great parent. I mean, yeah. Just because you kill people doesn't mean that you're a bad parent. It just means that you hate some people. My dad, when he brings up how he almost ended up... But he wasn't there, though. Maybe good trait for Grandpa? I'm gonna say A. Shakespeare. Shakespeare seems like the kind of guy who's really, really fun to be around when you're a kid. And he seems like he'd be great with kids. But then, once you're like, I don't know, a teenager, you're just like, God, dude, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. He doesn't even give off, like, I'm pretty sure Shakespeare the guy was a father. But, like, yeah, he just... Yeah, this is the uncle that, like, flips off the camera in family photos. Do you really think he won't bring up every mistake you made? No, he will. But I think he'll also read you, like, really good bedtime stories and shit when you're, like... That's what I'm saying. When you're, like, a little kid, like, I don't know, toddler age, he's probably fantastic. He'll pull pranks on you and be kind of, like, a dick, but, like, when you're younger, I think that he'd actually be, like, really cool to be around. It's once you're a teenager and maybe as an adult, you're kind of just like, alright. I'm gonna give him, I think B. I think a B, because like for half of your life he's cool. For like there's a hiccup in the middle where he's very uncool. And then once you get older and you can actually like drink with him, he seems like he'd be really cool. You know what I mean? Because then like he's not fucking with you as much. He'll still treat you like a kid every now and then, but then he can actually like tell you the real shit and you're just like, oh god. You know what I mean? Alright. Nightingale. Nightingale as well does not have kids. But she fits into the old lady category in this because she died at like really old. She was like, I think 88 or 89. Like she was old. By the way, Lasagna, when are we gonna get like actual Grandma Nightingale? I think she'd be way too strict. She would definitely have like a restrictive diet. Like if you went to go visit her, she would like you'd have to eat the shit that she has in her fridge. And she'd be kind of like really, really anal about that shit, but you know. Grandma nurse that cares about you too much. Yeah, but I think that she'd still like be really caring and loving. She's like very, very like old country. If any of you have like if you're, I don't know, this probably transcends America. In fact, it absolutely does. But if you have like a grandparent from the old country, kind of like I do, she'll be very strict. But she means it from a well-meaning place, so you don't really get mad at her. You know what I know? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like at Christmas, she'll make sure you get like a larger serving of like the dessert, but she won't tell anybody else about it. Country, I mean, like my Norwegian grandma is like that. Like if she was just she would just like slip us every now and then. She would just like tug on our shoulder and then give us like a Dove chocolate or something while we were walking. She was great. I feel like Nightingale will do that too, but then like, you know, in person, she's still like kind of goofy, but very strict and old-fashioned about a lot of things. I think A. I'm thinking A. I'm building a headcanon here and I like it. I think A is good. Shisho. Shout out Hags. Love Hags. Inappropriate. I don't think she'd be inappropriate. She is like the soccer mom. Not even a soccer mom. She's a wrestling mom. Like, if any of you did wrestling in high school, or you had friends who did wrestling in high school, you know exactly what I mean. She's an auntie? Kind of, yeah. Turtleneck, yeah. She'd support your sports endeavors for good and bad. She would be on the front line, and she'd be very supportive. But then she'd also, the moment that the game is over, regardless of if you won or lost, she'd be like, hey, I recorded the whole thing, and now you're gonna have to go watch replays. But she would be very supportive. Maybe two, I think C. My Irish aunt used to be a wrestler. She runs a pub now, and I'm realizing she's just she. This is what I'm telling. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We are not built like Ku. Speak for yourself. All right. Ed. Where are we putting Wizard Ed? Edison, I'm pretty sure, had kids. He would be like... I think he's all... Same with Tesla. No, he's not as weird as Tesla. He wouldn't be as weird... Like, you wouldn't be embarrassed to, like, go to, like, the Denny's with Edison.
He is your father.
He would be the dad. He would be kind of he would be very narcissistic, but he'd also be like kind of cool. Know what I mean? I'm gonna put him in C as well. Because you wanna know why? Where I don't think that Tesla would encourage you to, like, explore your creativity as much, I think Edison would. If you went to Edison and you're just like, I want to be an artist, he'd be like, cool. If you went to Tesla, Tesla feels like the kind of motherfucker who would be like, I don't think that's a good idea. He would take credit. He would definitely, like, be like, I raised that boy. He'd do shit like that. Like, he would definitely do that. Yep, you know, I encouraged him to do that. I saw the potential right out the fucking gate. And he'd be correct. Nah, follow your dreams. I'd rather have the supportive one than the one who's going to be the realist. Because you never know. If you don't have the supportive one, and you only ever have the realist, you don't get art, ever. The dad in the bar boasting, yeah. He would have that. He would have very high. Again, the more I talk about Edison, who is my father, according to the chat, the more I realize that he is very much just like my actual father, which is fucking me up. I don't know how I feel about that and putting my own father's personality in C. For those of you who are watching this on YouTube and are like, what the fuck is Klidge talking about? Let me just recount a story to you guys that happened to me in Japan. Maybe there are people in the chat who weren't here for this. I was in Sapporo this summer. Just, you know, I was there for the JLPT 4, which I ended up passing. I'm taking the 3 here in a while. But while I was heading home, I get approached by a woman who was she was like a middle-aged Japanese woman. And I'm just like, I'm in Sapporo Station. I'm just trying to get home. It's maybe, I don't know, fucking 6 o'clock at night. And I just want to go home, right? I got a while to go be on a train. And I get approached by this woman. And she just, like, kind of looks at me and sticks out her arm at me and says, "Are you Joe Biden's son?" And I was, like, very much taken aback by the question, because no. Not only am I not Joe Biden's son, I look nothing like Joe... Look at me. I look nothing like Joe Biden's son. And this isn't even getting into, like, politics or anything. It's just, I don't look anything like the dude or the dude's kid. And I just, like, shake her hand, and I'm just like, yes. And then I walk away.
Goldman president. Phony.
Yeah. I'm just like, yes. And then I walked away. I walked to my fucking station where I needed to go. If I just say yes and then keep walking, there's less of a probability that she's going to do anything. But yeah, and so I told that story on stream, and then my chat was just like, well, you know, Edison is every single U.S. president rolled into one, and if Joe Biden's your dad, that means Edison's your dad, and so Edison is my dad now, I guess, according to stream canon. And now I'm realizing that Edison's personality and my own actual father's personality line up, and I'm having a crisis of identity. Anyway, C tier. She got to tell everyone she met Joe Biden's son, which is funny as fuck. I mean, fuck, as far as she knows, I am Joe Biden's son. But it's so funny. My whole family does shit like that, where we'll just, like, we get mistaken for people all the time. Like, my dad okay, while I was in high school, my dad looked like a very popular college football team's coach. And so he would just, like, walk around and people would be like, "Hey, coach, can I get a picture?" And my dad would just be like, "Yeah, of course." And so there's so many people with pictures thinking that they're getting pictures with some famous coach, and it's just my dad in them.
Did you tell your dad that story when you are on vacation?
No, I didn't, but I should have. He'd get a fucking crack out of that. I know I told my mom that story, and she fucking loved it. She's like, you don't look anything like Joe Biden, son. I'm like, I know. Yeah, everyone in my family does that shit. It's just like, if we get approached and we're asked, are you this person? We just like, all of us, all of my family just go, yes. I don't know why we do it. We just, one day that's going to get us into fucking trouble, because somebody's going to ask us that question, and we're going to be like, yes, I'm going to fucking punch us. One of these days it's going to bite me in the ass. But until that day happens... Alright.
We have a legitly unknowing klidge.
You don't. Anyway. Iskander. Did he have kids? I don't think Alexander the Great had kids. Am I fucked up about that? He did, actually. Okay. Yes, and they all died. Yeah, he had Alexander the Fourth, and then a mysterious other kid that I guess is not confirmed. We do know how your hands look, Goatman. It doesn't matter how my hands look. All that you get from looking at my hands is seeing that I'm blindingly white. So he has kids, but he also died really young. Do you want an Iskander father? Bro is pasted. Go look up any of my card opening streams. I can do the thing. I can actually flashbang people. Don't say femboy hands. That is femboy and twink shit. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to agree with you on that. Time to find the whitest guy in Hokkaido. You can't find me. I blend in with the snow. I think A. I think Iskander's a solid A.
Guys, he's not a fanboy. He's a fan man.
You're goddamn right. The best waiver stepdad. I'm gonna put him in A just because I feel like him lacking actual like dad
Is
traits.
King Tut in this list? He has daughters, I think.
There's no way in fucking hell King Tut has daughters. I don't believe that.
So a quunk.
Neither of King Tut's kids lived to be actually like fully born. So I'm not counting him, no. Zhui Liang has kids. I'm not counting him. We're doing waiver. What the fuck is... You guys are inventing terms. What is a femdilf? What does that even mean? Anyway. Fucking Saito. Saito's a dad. Saito's actually technically qualifies for the old man part of this list. Have any of you guys seen the effeminate dilf? Are you just describing Mustang? You're just describing Mustang from Nikkei? If you're gonna compare me to Mustang, I'll fucking take that. That's a compliment. Also, no, fucking... Saito is an old man. Saito is old man. I think he's also an A.
Mustang, the dandy man, as a sounding goat.
Mustang is one of the best characters in fiction. I love that dude. You know what? You're so right, Sarah. Saito comes with dad jokes, and that absolutely bumps into an S. That is so real. Oh my god.
Entertainmental.
Ugh. Yeah, he comes with dad jokes. He has the solid old man energy.
Huyanzhou.
And have you guys seen the art piece that somebody did of old man Saito and old man fucking not what is it? Nakagura Kenpachi? Is it Kenpachi or Sanpachi? No, it's Kenpachi. Sanpachi's from fucking Bleach. Alright, Koji. I think Koji's a B. She is Shinpachi, yes. I think it was Zanpakuto, Zaraki Kenpachi. The guy from Bleach, I mean. That's what it is. It's been so long since I've watched Bleach. But Kenpachi's cool, I like that guy. Koji is Oni? Koji isn't an Oni. Koji's a fucking mech. Is Zanpakuto or the swords? I know that. Koji seems like she'd be a cool grandma, but she'd also just fuck with you. She's like the grandma who's in a cult. You know what do you know what I mean? She's a grandma who's in a cult. Not that she is in a cult, or not even a cult. She's the very religious grandma. She just has her like her quirks and shit that make you kind of uncomfortable around her. You know she's not a bad person or anything, but it's just like, I gotta be careful around this one. Yeah, I think B is fair. Like, she's cool, but it's also just like, Gotta be a little wary with this one. Alright, David. My grandma's crazy when she gets all preachy. I didn't have a grandma like that, but where'd I put him? I didn't have a grandma like that, but I had a babysitter like that who was functionally my grandma. And she was great person, but hyper religious. She instilled a fear of God into me more than the church did. I'm not even a religious person anymore. Deadbeat dad, yeah. David is a really shit dad. David's a very shit dad. He's a self-admitted shit dad. He knows he's a bad dad. But honestly, that almost puts him up to C tier, because at least he acknowledges the fact that he is a bad dad, which is something I don't think Tesla would do. He took 1,000 foreskins, S tier. Alright. He beheaded Goliath, though. Is that his fucking he made graduation? Are you gonna defend him the way that people defend Kanye? But he killed Goliath, though. But he made graduation. No! I don't care. Carmilla. I'm putting Carmilla on the MILF tier list, even though technically speaking, I don't believe that she should be on this list. She is weird. Yeah, you know what? Single wine aunt. Lesbian, yeah, lesbian wine aunt. And you know what? I'd say A tier. As like the gay aunt that you have. She'd be cool. I have a gay aunt. She's fantastic. So I think she'd be like that. I'm not going to put her into S tier, though, just because... I feel like you like went over to her house and you just like you were just looking around and you found some of the more kinky shit and you're just like, Search absolutely fabulous. She is Jonah Lumley's kid. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, the best part about having siblings is that they will eventually, hopefully, have kids, and then you get to be the weird relative. All right. Woo.
Not Wu.
Wu
We
is
saw
technically
how
in the-
she treats her daughter-in-law.
Yeah, she's technically in like the grandma territory. Both grandma, yeah, short, angry Asian mom is 100% it. D tier. She'll kick your fucking ass. She isn't even gonna pull out the torture technique. She's just gonna, what she's gonna do to you is if you get in trouble, she's gonna get a chili pepper and rub it on your lips and then just send you on your way. No chancla. No chancla. She's going to cut a chili pepper and rub it on your lips and send it on your way. Or she's going to cut an onion and rub it on your tongue and then make you go away. Did she, like, hit Yangui Fei to knock some sense into her? I mean, well, to be fair, it was absolutely morally correct for her to hit Yangui Fei, because Yangui Fei is a spoiled shit. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna say this right now. You can filter out who the people are who are in Indonesia right now, in my chat, by how many people have had their lips rubbed with chili peppers. Out yourself now. I had a buddy of mine who, his dad was from a, I'm gonna just say a Southeast Asian country. I'm not gonna out which one. And that was one of the punishments that he would get, is getting chili peppers rubbed on his lips. God, that shit. Yeah. My mom was white. She made me eat a can of wet spinach until I vomited. I mean, yeah. What my dad would do to punish us is if we misbehaved, he bought belts specifically for slapping the shit out of us with. And if we got in trouble, he wouldn't have us go and pick which one we would get hit with. So we got to choose the method of our execution. Shit was fucked up. That was really fucked up of him to do. Yeah, he had the ass whooping loadout. Anyway, Yagyu. I think Yagyu's a fucking S tier dad. Dude is fucking cool. He's like the subtly cool dad. He's like, okay, he's like Comey's dad. You know, you guys ever like read Comey Can't Communicate? He seems like he'd be like Comey's dad, where it's just like really quiet, more or less reserved about shit. If you ask him shit, he'll probably help you out. But like, at the end of the day, he's really, really fucking fun and cool. Yeah, and as soon as he's a grandpa too, he's like, fuck raising the kids. I'm about to have a great time as a grandpa. He's the kind who catches you with a joint and tells you to pass it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Have I told you guys the story about my grandma? How my grandma almost got arrested by TSA. So my grandmother is Norwegian, and there's a very certain kind of berry that grows in Norway, and I don't remember what the berry is, but it's used to like make jams and stuff. And I want to say you can't bring it into America because overconsumption can induce hallucination. So it technically counts as a hallucinogen. And so you can get it imported, I'm pretty sure, if it's already been pre-processed, but you can't bring the berries with you. Now, my grandma, ever the stubborn woman, is just like, I want to bring the berries. I want to bring the... Also, you're not supposed to bring, like, live or, like, seeds from another country into another country, because that's how you get invasive species, right? My grandma was like, fuck that shit. And so, what she did, she took the berries, and she put them in my... I want to say it was my mom. No. It was... God, I'm trying to remember the time frame. It was one of the children at the time. It was either my mom when she was a kid, or it was me and my younger brother into our little packs when we were going back to the States after being in Norway. In fact, I think it was me, my older brother, and my younger brother, because it was my mom who was just like, "What are you doing?" And she's just like, "What do you mean?" Like, you can't send them in. You're trafficking things. You're trafficking, like, a hallucinogen. She's like, "It's berries." For legal reasons, we didn't get the berries across the border, and for serious reasons, we didn't get the berries across the border. Every story I have about my dad sounds so fake. Dude has a dozen mini businesses and makes $14K a month on his main software job. Hell yeah. Alright. I'm gonna put, Yagyu up there. Hokusai. Papa Hokusai. See?
Trafficker klidge is a thing, so klidge Lily is also assassin candidate.
I'm not a don't call me a trafficker. I'm not. No, bad. That has so many connotations I don't want tied to my name. Don't do that. Yeah, I think smuggler. Smuggler is better.
Smuggler klidge rider class.
Let's say smuggler. Trafficker has much worse. Drug mule klidge, yeah. Hokusai elder would teach you how to be an amazing artist, but then would also treat you like shit. Like, it would feel like it's not family. You know what I mean? But I don't want a squid for a dad? Well, that's too damn bad. Alright, Semiramis. So Asian... It's Hokusai. Of course it's an Asian parent. Hokusai's Japanese. Yeah, Hokusai had kids so that they could work for him for free. Wine ant again. Yeah, kind of, yeah. Hold on. I actually found an image. I'm gonna put this in general chat for you guys. It's actually pertaining to... to Semiramis. Here, have fun with that. There you go. Yeah, I think that she and Carmilla would be like
Emotional damage.
They're not related. Like, Carmilla's from your mom's side and Semiramis is from your dad's side, but they met because your parents got married, and then they're just like, oh, we can vibe super hard, and then they just became BFFs. Know what I mean? Anyway, Lee is an S tier. Lee would be strict but fair. Lee does not demand the impossible from his kids. Lee is a fantastic parent and grandpa. Like anything you like read about Old Man Lee, he's like the
Sana
grandpa.
is the
He's the
fruit
guy.
cake hand.
He's like one of the most supportive and cool dudes. Would Carmilla and Semiramis... Yeah, because no, Semiramis isn't a lesbian. Semiramis is married. She just happens to, like, be really, really close with Carmilla. You know what I mean? Carmilla may develop feelings for Semiramis, but it's not going to go beyond that. Lee just wants to teach martial arts, kids martial arts for their own good and health. Pretty much, yeah. Another great parent. Welcome back. We have S tier. William. His whole legend is about how he would do anything for his son. Right? Like, so it's Tell. He's a great dad. He just wants the best for his damn kid. What is this semi and car ship I'm hearing about? They actually have a lot in common. Yeah, Tell's great. Yeah, beyond S tier, I would honestly, I think S tier is pretty stacked, realistically. These are all great parents. And then we have Taigong Wong, who technically counts for the old man category, given that he died, I want to say, in his like late 80s, early 90s as well. I did put Raiko on this list. Fishing Dad A. I'm gonna put him in B. And the reason I'm putting him in B instead of A is because he'd fuck with you too much. He would fuck with you in a way that it's this him and Shakespeare. Like, him and Shakespeare have a lot in common in that, but it's also just like, I don't know. I feel like if you're trying to be serious with him, you're like, Uncle Taigong Wong, I really need you to show up, to pick me up, to take me to my soccer game, because both my parents are out of town. Can you do that for me? He's like, yeah, and then he just doesn't show up on time. But he does show up late, pick you up, and then break several traffic laws to get you to the place on time. You know what I mean? Like, he's going through school zones at a rate that could kill a bear if he hit it. I'm not understanding why Saito is on this tier list. Saito is both a dad and an old man. Saito is a very old man. Also, he tells dad jokes as a dad, S tier. He teleports you there, as I know. That's just my dad. Trickster, he's like, he very obviously cares about you, and he wants the best for you, but he's a fucking airhead. So it's not that he's a bad parental figure, he's just a stressful parental figure, you know what I mean? Ozzy, I don't believe, is on this list. I've not seen the...
Did you see King Tut's Senro Ascension?
No, I got home from my workout, I took a shower, I read another chapter of Iruma, I set up stream, and now you're watching me. That has been the exact lineup of things I've done. Alright. Fucking Zhangzhu. See? Okay, again, Ozzy has hundreds of kids, but has no DILF energy. He doesn't have any dad energy. Again, I'm not going through this again. I'm not repeating myself. No, Tut's third ascension is a man. I say man. It's a probably 18-year-old dude. Zhangzhu, I feel like goes here. I'm gonna say just kind of. Yeah. He is a twink now? Yes, from what I can tell, he is now a twink. So, if you really want to goon very hard to this person, who, for the majority of the time you've known him as of this moment, has been a child, now that he is legal, if you want to goon to him, I suppose you can. I still think you're a fucking freak, but that's okay. It's not about what I think. Anyway. Rikyu. Rikyu minus Komahime. No thanks, same with Taisui. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about that as well. It's like, yeah, he has an older form, but it's still, like, you spend the majority of your time around the child form, and that they're going to use the child form of Tut for every appearance that he has, right? That's how he's going to be portrayed the majority of the time. So it's just like, I don't know. If you want an excuse to be a fucking creep, you can do that. There you go. They gave you your out. Rikyu is an awesome grandma. I think A. It's either A or B. Rikyu would be incredibly strict. But she's goofy enough to make it, like, cool. She's, again, very old country. She and Nightingale actually have a lot of similarities in how I view them as, like, a grandparent. This is without this is no Komahime. Komahime is not an old woman. This is just Rikyu. And I think with just Rikyu, she and Nightingale, again, old country, but very caring and loving towards each other. And also she has like a kind of fun, mysterious past, and she'll teach you a lot of fun things. So I think A is good. Even if Rikyu is a guy in this scenario, it still fits. Kotomine Kira. Fucking D. No, D tier. Horrible. Are you kidding me? He raised No, he fucking didn't. He was he even there for when Caren? From my understanding, he was present around Caren. But did he raise Caren? I don't.
The priest smiles. We are talking about Rasputin who cares for Anastasia or Kotomine.
I'm talking Kotomine. Because when I look at this motherfucker, I don't see Rasputin, I see Kotomine.
Kire, after have you seen how he raised the ring? He spent all her family money and all the murder and manipulation.
You know what? I actually agree with you. This needs a new tier. This needs a new tier because he's such a bad father. Did he like shot Caren or her mother? I'm pretty. It's too much. No, bad, horrible dad. All right. Vlad, but evil. C tier. He seems like he would be very caring, very, like, sweet. He's too religious.
Make 2 tiers. Kire and F. Put Kire above F and put Rasputin in F.
Right. Like, who was it that we said would be, like, too religious and, like, be weird and creep you out with it? Was that Koji? Yeah. This version of Vlad, I feel like, would be really bad about it. The uncle they tell you not to hang out with, but he's chill. He's chill, but it's also just like, if you have to go in knowing that that motherfucker is going to try and, like, convert you to whatever the fuck he's worshipping at the moment. And as long as you go in prepared, it's fine, which is why I'm going to keep him out of D tier, but he's just, it's a little overwhelming. Alright, Iris Veal.
Having Ted Bundy as an uncle, but you find out he's chill.
Iris Veal, I feel like is an A or an S. She seems like she's a good mom. Like an actual, like pretty caring mom. But she also kind of fucks up a lot. A little bit too airheaded, maybe. It'll be funny if we put him near Kotomini. I think A. She's 8, by the way. Zam. Parvati. If you think I'm going to put Helena in S tier, you are delusional. But thanks for stopping by. Parvati. What she did for Ganesha, Parvati is S tier. Parvati, I'm going to put an A tier. Parvati is a good mom. And even in, like, like, how she acts in Chaldea, she is also a very good mom. She does still have some of that. She very much has, like, the Asian parent, the Asian mom, like, energy. You know what I mean? Which, that doesn't make you a bad mom, by any means, not at all, right? Well, she is Indian? True. Yeah, this is the kind of mom that says your middle name when yelling at you. When you, like, this is the kind of mom that when you're being yelled at and you hear your middle name, you're like, oh, fuck. Alright. You know, I'm going to bump her up to S, actually. She's a really good mom, in hindsight. Okay. Where are we putting Emiya? Key right here, kind of, yeah.
Kiritsugu was an okay father to Ilya, but a terrible parent to Shiro.
He was an okay father to Ilya. He shot her in the head. He shot her in the fucking head. What do you mean?
Guys, come on. He's the dad who stepped up.
Sometimes the dad doesn't need to step up. Sometimes, as the father, you need to step down. Must have missed that bit. How? It's one of the most memed things out of all of that fucking show. Yeah, no, he is a very bad father. I'll give him credit. In Emiya Gohan, he actually gives the impression of being a decent father. He tried. Maybe he shouldn't have. Maybe he should not have. Anyway. Sally. Oh, yeah, in Prilia, he's a great dad, but, you know. Sally, I think, would be a B. I feel like as an actual, like, father figure, he's really solid. I feel like he's a solid dad, and like he'll encourage you to like do the things that you think that he thinks that you'll excel in. He'll definitely try and push you towards music, and you'll be a little bit disappointed if you don't do music. But he also seems like the kind of guy who's just like, yeah, you know what, do what you want. He's very, very teacher coded. Do what you want so long as you're doing something that you enjoy. But I'm gonna put him into B because he's also the kind of person who'd be like, he just doesn't ever shut up about like the old days. He will forever talk about how he has to the Dinkelberg effect, pretty much. He won't shut up about Mozart. Like, that motherfucker, he stole my career. I could have, I had it back in the day, and that fucker always came in and did this. He's like, Dad, I'm 8. What's a fucker? He's like, shut up, you little shit. He just keeps going, and you're just like, Dad? You damn kids and your skibbity toilets and your book faces and your twatters and your art full of deviance. How many rules are there? I refuse to believe that there's 34. Anyway, Napoleon. Did you know that Napoleon's, I believe it's Napoleon's brother, went hunting for the Jersey Devil in America? That's neither here nor there, just something I'm thinking about. As a father, how would Napoleon go? The fuck's a Riz? Isn't that the shit you put on crackers? Daddy material, but not sure about dad. Yes, I would agree. As a dad, terrible. As an uncle, pretty good. I'm gonna say C.
Dad, I get it that Mozart stole your career, but can you help me with my math? I need help with it.
I think C is fair. He'd be really encouraging and kind of useless for everything else. Alright. Time for a weird one. Benny. Benny is a career mom, but a mess with her kids, and you'll find yourself one less tongue as a warning. Cool aunt at A, bird up, best grandma. She's much more grandma than she is mom, primarily because Benny has no children, right? Short, angry Asian mom, but only in the kitchen. You see, yes. Also, she'll know if you're lying. She's got that Kiyohime instinct. She'll be like, excuse me? And because she knows she cannot cut off your tongue because she is your grandchild, this is the person who would rub onions on your tongue. You would get lectured hard, but you always know grandma's fucking cooking, and that shit's about to be fucking heat every time. You know it's gonna be good. A tier. You just don't be a little shit and you'll be fine. It's like you go over to this grandma's house, alright, I can't fuck around. Me and my siblings, we fight. We know not to do that when we're around Grandma Benny. And so we're just gonna be chill. This is our white flag moment, and then we don't fight. We get the good food. We love Benny. She's fun to be around, has some interesting stories about her work, which is literally in hell. And then we just hang out. She'll even give you some ice cream or something. It's homemade ice cream too. She does the whole thing by herself. It's great. And she gives you food to send you home. And then you can kick each other's asses afterwards. Holidays go crazy at Benny's house. If you're having Christmas at Benny's house, that shit's about to be heat. Know what I'm saying? Alright, Odysseus. Check general chat.
Follow speed ahead. He fought Poseidon to go back home to his wife and his son.
True. I think A tier is fair, only because he's an absent father. That's his one downside, is that he's not there. And you know that he's out there. And you know he does care about you, but he's away on work all the time. So I think Odysseus in A is fair. He would take you for a ride in his cool car, which is also a horse and also a mech and also a Gundam. Huang Fei Hu. S tier. The dude is such a good dad, his kids come with him to Chaldea.
Which was forced on him due to his stupid strategy on getting with his wife.
Family fucking beat. Yeah, no, he jumps you with his kids in his Noble Phantasm. Dude's a goat.
Huang Fei Hu.
Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, I'm gonna put him here. I think that's fair. S tier. I think that if you're showing up to Chaldea with your kid and they're in your Noble Phantasm, they had to model 5 Gakis to help jump a motherfucker, and then he absorbs the Gakis into his light pen and shoots a laser at you to shoot you with pure, unadulterated family values. It's a good dad right there.
Is Huyanzhou in the list?
Does it look like she is? No. Anyway, Ptolemaeus. Grandpa. S tier. This dude is such an awesome grandpa. Like, he's the kind of guy who your parent... Hold on.
Okay, now I'm just imagining Chaldea as a huge company with each class being a department, with the grand servant as the director of each department. One good.
He's the kind of grandpa who will tell you the shit that your parents don't want you to know. So let's just... he will give you, like, the hidden tech. He will teach you about all the shit that you ever wanted. You ask him a question, he'll be like, "Oh, I got you," and then your mom would be like, "Don't tell him that," and he'll be like, "Hold on, honey, I got this." Peak, love it. Who's that? Ptolemaeus. He's fantastic. Next up, Helena. Grandma tier. B. I think B is good. Yeah, cult grandma. Except she's the one leading the cult, so it's less. It's not cult grandma. It's cult leader grandma. Not that Theosophy is a cult, because I don't believe that it is. It's more just like a set of rules, similar to a religion, but not quite. She'd be fun to be around. A lot of the shit that she says to you wouldn't make any fucking sense, but she would definitely be the grandma who, like, helps you out with, like, homework and shit. Also, if you said I believe in aliens, she wouldn't, like, laugh at you. She'd be like, "Have I got some shit to show you?" She'd be fun. She would be fun, but also, like, a little weird. Like, weird enough that you're just, like, your parents don't want to be around her too much. Alright. Gramps. In my heart.
Let's not forget Gramps killed his sons due to drinking. Well, that is again the teaching of Muslims, so fair for him.
S or Kire? I think Gramps is an A.
Gramps.
I think Gramps is an A. He would be very, well, that's the thing. He'd be very strict, and you could definitely, like, see where your parents got, like, some, like, your dad or your mom got some of their quirks from him. He's very, very religious. To the point where if he will make you, while you're there, participate in religious ceremonies. Which is to say that he will make you pray to Mecca 5 times a day. And even if you're not, even if you weren't raised Muslim, you'll do that. But it's just, the way that it is. But, he's chill. He's not, like, horrible to you. He'd give you weed. He would allow you to smoke weed with him. And he'd tell you stuff about the old country. I think strict but fair. Strict but fair is what I would call him, which is kind of what you want from a grandpa. Like, any of you guys have that? Any of you guys, like, have the grandparent who made you go to church? Gramps is absolutely on that level, where it's just like, you are going to church. And, it's not the worst thing in the world, because, you get opened up to a new thing that you're not that familiar with, and it's kind of interesting. It may not be your, like, jam, but, Strict but fair is what I asked of work bosses. I mean, strict but fair, but, Gramps is kind of silly, though. Gramps has his silly side. Like, if Gramps was all business, he wouldn't have a blush face, which he does. I don't know. I think A. I think A is fair. All right. I'm making an exception. Great Aunt Cersei. Great Aunt Cersei, I think, is B. Did any of you guys know, like, a Wicca family? Like, a family that practiced Wicca?
We call him Gran for a reason.
I dated a girl for a while who, like, her family was, like, witch adjacent. And, low-key, kind of cool. Never heard of that, but it's like American witchcraft. It's like American paganistic beliefs. It probably extends into Europe as well, and that's probably where it originated from, but yes. It's that kind of, like, idea. And, yeah, she would be that kind of an aunt. Which is to say, she's got, like, herbs and shit, like, hanging in her house. She makes the most bomb fucking tea you've ever had. She cooks really well, but is vegetarian. And also, she locks her doors at night in a neighborhood where nobody locks their doors. And you're just like, why are you doing that? It's like, people know. Like, people know what, Cersei? They just know, dude. They just know. I'm like, they know what? They know. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think B is fair. Okay. Murasaki. Yeah, Cersei would be a crazy aunt. Kind of fun to be around, but crazy aunt. She might crack under pressure, also lives in the library willingly, so says the Church of Raida. I would say B is all. I'd say B is good. Ant tier.
Murasaki Ascension Sun Best Ascension. Find me.
It is. That's why I'm using it. Yeah, she'd be very concerned for you. She would text you. Okay. This is a call out to old people. She would be the relative who texts you And after, like, every sentence, she does a ... Does anybody else have a relative who does that? I have an aunt who does that, and I'm always just like, why are you doing this? And it's just, I never ask her because I don't want to be, like, rude, but it's just like, it comes off like you're concerned or disappointed, and you're just like, why, what's the issue? Well, why are you texting like this? But yeah, it just does that. I type like that? Bad. Shame. ... Yeah, that's how she would text you, but it's always messages just like, hey, do you want to go to Applebee's ... So yeah, I put her there. And then say... Say is also aunt. More aunt than, like, mom. Is she... Well, Say... Okay, if you're curious why she's on here, I'm pretty sure Say has children. I'm just gonna put her next to Murasaki. For the same reasons, where it's just like, Murasaki is, like, cool to be around, really fun to be around, but she's, like, very much, like, concerned, a little bit airheaded, and you're just like, man, she's really fun, but what's her problem? And then, like, this is the aunt who's, like, past her prime, but she hasn't accepted it yet, and so this is the TikTok aunt. She knows all this shit. This is your mom's older sister, this is your mom's younger sister. Know what I mean?
Then the Thanksgiving banners are revealed and I am tempted.
Yeah. Hogan. Is Hogan Shisho tier? I feel like Hogan and Shisho have a lot in common, but Hogan's more fun with it. Gym rat aunt? Yeah. CrossFit aunt? Yeah. This is your aunt that runs marathons. But, and I know this because I have relatives like this, she is also the one who will take you out drinking after the marathon. If you help to reserve a seat at a place for them to go to afterwards, she will pay for all of the drinks. And she won't guilt you for drinking a lot, and she'll hang out and have a good time with her. I think A is good. Alright. Dino Mom.
Dino momesteren mom, just look at her Valentine.
Weirdly enough, I kind of agree. She seems like a very good mom. I think S. Yeah, I think S. Very loving, very caring, just wants the best for you, and will do anything that she can to make sure she gives you the best. Ugh. Alright. Grandpa Don Quixote. I think is a C. No, I don't think that's a B. I think that's a C. Sancho is the real parent. This is your grandpa who has like a nurse because he lives in assisted living. And the nurse is super fucking cool. and like hangs out with him, is like super rad. You kind of get the feeling that maybe she's doing it because she wants his money, but then you remember, oh yeah, Grandpa Don's fucking broke. She's just a fucking good person. But Don's cool, but the dementia's gotten him. The dementia's gotten him, but when he has his moments of clarity, you're just like, ah, Don. You know what I mean? Together, though, they're good, but if we're just talking straight Don, yeah. Alright, Bakin. Down here. I think Bakin and Hokusai have to be in the same tier because they're very similar with this. Bakin was a fucking sour old man. No, because no, the Bakin is the daughter, Fusahime, is not the one who we're, or rather Michi. But Michi is not the one we're reviewing. It's Bakin. And Bakin's a grumpy old shit who only wants to focus on his, like, work. I'm gonna put him here because he, like, will, like, he shows up to Christmas with good gifts. I feel like he shows up to, like, Christmas and birthdays with good gifts. And you also get, like, a letter from him once a year with, like, 25 bucks in it saying happy birthday. He'll remember you. But, it's like whenever you talk to him, he's just like kind of like short with you with a lot of shit. And you're just like, wow, what the fuck's his problem? But then like during holidays and stuff, he's just really cool. You're like, okay. All right. Fucking Robo Dad. How do we feel about Tame Tomo? A. C. I think B. He seems like he'd be an okay dad. He would raise you with good morals and to like he'd like teach you some cool shit. He's like very military dad, very like high rank military officer dad. So you'll be raised a little bit strict. Yeah, he's kind of cold. He'll like treat you. He doesn't treat you bad, but doesn't really treat you well. But then also like during holidays as well, he lets loose. And he's kind of fun. All right. Durga. Durga's weird. In theory, Durga and Parvati should be on the same tier because they're the same person, right? I think B tier again, though. She's not a bad mom. But Kali, that's the thing, but Kali. It's like, I don't know. She's not allowed to be on the PTA board because of the outburst that happened last spring. Type shit.
Imagine Kali with 10 chanclas.
Yeah, right? She's been blacklisted from the fucking PTA board. What happened last spring? We can't talk about it, but the school gym needed repairs. We don't know how she did it, but she did it. Alright. Shinpachi. Low-key, S tier. Fucking based-ass grandpa. kind of old-fashioned, but not in a bad way. Treats you well, loves movies. He would absolutely, like, be like, you seen this one? You would go to movies with him, and he'd love it, and then he'd love to talk to you about him afterwards. That's not even me, like, thinking of weird shit. That is what he's like.
If I remember correctly, his grandson is in the anime business.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if that's not true, I would be surprised. Because I'm being serious. Like, that's one of the famous things with Shinpachi is he had a love of cinema. He adored it. And so he would encourage you to, like, do something creative. He's still kind of old-fashioned, has some old-fashioned beliefs, and he's very clearly kind of fucked up from the war days. But he seems like he'd be super fun to be around. I think S tier is perfect. In fact, you know what? He reminds me a lot of my own grandpa. He kind of looks like him, too. Was his Bonsai something about the movie? It's either his Bonsai or his Valentine, his tickets to go see movies. Alko. She's not in key right here. I just need to look something up really quick.
See, look at how Shiki turned out.
A little bitch? Alright. For those curious, Alko in Witch on a Holy Night is 17 years old. Alko in the original Tsukihime series is 27. Alko in the Wait, did I say Tsukihime remake? Alko in the original Tsukihime series is 27. Alko in the Tsukihime remake series and in the Clock Tower 2015 is 42. C tier. I think that this is 42-year-old Alko, by the way. If it's pulling her from the 2015 timeline, which is when Fate Grand Order takes place technically, this is 42-year-old Alko. How old is Toko? I already closed the tab. Cool Ant? I think Cool Ant tier. B.
I'm fucking Hu Yanzhou.
No, that's her Mahoyo outfit. I don't think that the outfit is what indicates that. Because she's sure as shit not 17. So she's either 27 or 42 or some other thing that we are unaware of. I think B. Only because we've seen the product of one of her raisings, which was Shiki, and Shiki's a little bitch, so I'm gonna dock her points from that to keep her out with the other cool ants. In Tsukihime, she has red hair. True. Oh well. I'm just gonna not worry about it and just call her a hag regardless. Anyway. Raiko. Suffocating but has good intentions is absolutely the correct. So Raiko isn't a mom. Raiko is an aunt who has no children. Even though I'm pretty sure Raiko has kids historically. Hold on. Does Raiko have kids in Fate? In In Fate canon, does Raiko have kids? I think it's unclear. Huh. She has a lover as a child. Oh, wait, she sees her lover as a child. So does that count? No. Only adopted? I'm gonna say B tier. Somebody said that she's like Kali, and that's very much true. Where she's your like your adopted mom, and she treats you really, really well. A little bit too well. She like smothers you in affection. But she's also the kind who is very like, people were saying that Kali's a helicopter, it's not Kali, fucking Durga's a helicopter parent. Raiko's she's got like that shit on lock. She knows what you post on Instagram. She's also banned from the PTA board. All right, Moriarty. Is a C tier. I think that if necessary, Moriarty can be a fantastic father figure. However, is he doing it because he's the one who writes his will purposely fucked up so that people end up fighting for the inheritance that he has, only to find out that it was all left to, like, the dog. He is not a good father. He's an embarrassing father, an embarrassing uncle, and an embarrassing grandpa. What is the reason why he dotes on Fran? I believe in Fate's timeline. Moriarty knew Dr. Frankenstein as a friend, and so kind of just like is taking care of her. He's better than Shakespeare, B tier. I don't think he is better than Shakespeare. I think he's a worse father than Shakespeare. How's it going, Tig? All right, here's another one. Columbus. Y'all talking about how fucking Moriarty's banned from family reunions. I don't think Columbus is there's a restriction right here. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think he's,
I would rather trust Chris to babysit than Columbus.
I mean, yeah. He's, yeah, You know what? I don't think that he's worse than Kire. Which is a weird sentence, but I don't think that he is... No, he would not sell his own kids. I don't think that he would sell his own kids. The only thing that I am going to give him over Kire is that every now and then, he will show up and give you something cool from his travels. But you have to ignore how he got it, who he got it from, all of the details, but he'll show up and he'll be like, hey, I found this gold goblet here, you can have this. And you're just like, thanks, where'd you get it? He's like, don't ever ask me about my work. You know what I mean? It'd be like, the fact that he actually, like, he did sell his kids, the kids he made, well, yeah. True. Moving on from that happy thought. Fucking Europa. one of the two grandma-esque characters in Fate. It's her. Actually, there's three. It's her, Koji, and fucking Rikyu. And of those, she is absolutely the best grandma.
Fucking Europa.
Overbearing a little bit, but I feel like she's sweet enough that, and you don't see her very often, that you're just like, it's okay for her to be overbearing.
She accepted Asterius without question. That is more than what the miners did.
I would agree. She's very, very affectionate. I think she goes here. So, S tier. She's fantastic. Pure, raw grandma energy. Speaking of old people...
Europa, the best grandma, love every kids in family, give chocolate and presents and love smile you.
Ivan. Ivan's weird for sure. This is another old country grandpa. Didn't Ivan kill his own son? One of them, yeah. I think Ivan's a C. Because he feels like he would be kind of like cool. Again, old country. He's strict but not very fair. Like where Gramps is just like strict and fair, Ivan is kind of just like strict, and you never really know what he's thinking. But just, you know, every now and then he has his moments that shine through that shows that he's very affectionate. I think this C is fair. All right. I didn't include Brynhild, but how do we rate Sigurd in this? He is a dad. The only reason that he's being allowed on this list is because he has a daughter that is going to be featured in a Fate franchise. A, B. I think B. I don't know enough about him and his daughter. Right, but... I'd say absent, yeah, absent but caring is kind of it. He's very much obsessed with his hot wife, and so sometimes neglects his child because of it. As a result... I think B is fair. A little bit neglectful, but not the worst thing in the world. He's still it's very clear he still loves his kid. He's just kind of, you know. All right. 5 more and then we get to the real game. Morgan. Is Morgan a good mother? S tier, Morgan is the evil mom who loves doing evil things with her evil child. She acts cold but just has trouble showing affection due to her own childhood and doesn't want the same to be for her child. Sweet with mommies? Yeah. She enabled Bob too much. B, depends. A, she actually loved Bob. B, no. I think A. I would say that she's bad at motherhood, but at the very least, she tried. So people will call me a hypocrite on that now, because that's kind of what Emiya's whole thing is. Fucking, Kiritsugu's whole thing is. The difference is that, she actually very much cares about her kids. She's just very weird about how she goes about it. Yeah, she has high expectations of you, not because she, like, particularly wants you to bias moment, believe me, there is no Morgan bias here. Have you heard how I've talked about Morgan in the past? She's one of those kinds who would be like... She'd push you to do a lot of shit. Hold on.
Look at the difference between Bo and Panic H. Morgan children. Bowen is completely loyal to Morgan while P.H. Morgan's children hate their mom.
True. She wants her kid, she wants the best for her kid. Is at the end of the day, that is what she wants, and she actively tries to do what she thinks is the right way to go about it, and she's not opposed to doing some shady shit to make that happen. No, this is the one that we summon in Chaldea. All of these are as they are summoned in Chaldea. Who is she with? Mordred? Technically Mordred's mom. Alright. Muramasa. See, this would be bias. This would be bias if I did this, but I won't do this. I'm gonna do this instead. I mean, how does she react to Morgan from... I don't know. I don't remember. How was she with Mordred? She took fucking Artoria's cum and put it inside of herself. B. Yeah, he was taking care of those kids pretty well. He's just like, he does it very appearing to be begrudgingly. It appears that he does it begrudgingly, but I think he actually likes the idea of having company, but he won't ever show that, which is, you know, kind of disappointing if you're the grandchild, but you know, after some time you get it. He's supportive, he's just very, like, rude and harsh, but not necessarily a bad grandfather. Alright. Mama Mary. Or Marie, rather. I feel like this is another banned from the PTA meeting type shit. I think B. I think you've said A for literally every character, Junkyard. I think B. She very much cares about you. Gaslighting mom? I mean, kind of. She'd gaslight you into doing things that she wants you to, but in that same vein, I don't feel like it's for malicious reasons. She just wants the best for you. Which doesn't excuse that kind of behavior at all, but it does make it like, yeah, she really loves her kids, but maybe too much. I feel like she, Kali, and Raiko are all... The attendance at the PTA meeting is currently dwindling because of how many, like, near fatalities they've been because of the outburst that happened last spring that destroyed the gymnasium. So... yeah. I think B is fair. Alright. No, he's not Kirei bad, but he is pretty bad. In defense of Lancelot, he didn't know he had a kid for most of their life. How is that a defense? How is that a defense? That is the opposite. That is an accusation. I didn't know that I nutted inside of this woman and she had my kid, and then I just left her. Yeah, and then, I don't know. Communication was hard. It's a night of the round table. Just go to fucking Camelot and be like, I have your baby. Look, I never said it was a good fair enough. Yeah, I'm going to say D tier. Very bad dad. Also, depending on the version, Galahad was the product of Lancelot. Yeah. We're not going to go with that one, though. I just think that he is a father. Even, like, in Chaldea, if we're just going to take this solely on the Lancelot in Chaldea, he's not a good father. He doesn't, like, he only acts like a good dad when his daughter is going to whoop his ass, and even then, he does it begrudgingly. So, bad dad. Next. Also, again, he sacrificed his entire country. Or he sacrificed the entire kingdom that he worked for, based entirely on the fact that he could get into some new kind of snatch. Tiamat is S tier. Tiamat has only ever wanted to be a good mom, and when she attempts to discipline her children, didn't Tiamat try to kill her kids? Her kids tried to kill her first, and even then, she more or less is just like, alright. Still though, bias. I think she's a fantastic mother. Alright, this is the list. Any shakeups, chat? Is there anything that we need to shake up or change?
Lancelot did not know he had a son.
So should I put him lower then? Kirai's too high. Ivan deserves better. He's really sweet in his own way. I mean, kind of. That's why he's in C and not D, though. BB? BB should be on this list, and if she was, she'd be D tier. BB's a horrible fucking mom. Marie Alter is B? Yes.
Chat, I think we got to put Kirai down.
Yeah, Kirai is by far the worst father, the worst parent on this list. I think this list is fine. By the way, in the individual rows themselves, these are not ordered in any way, other than they're all same tier. Kirai is not a dad, he's a guardian and not a good one. It's bad. Marie Alter being above Ivan is insane. Did you do his interlude? No. Odysseus wasn't there for his kid for 30 years, but he was well, again, that's why he's in A and not S, because he was in a constant state of trying to get back to his family. That's one of those things where that's not a he went out to go get the milk and never came back. It's he went out to get the milk and God said, fuck you. For 30 years, that motherfucker was very much trying to get back to his family, which is why his family was so accepting of him coming back. So it was very much just like, yeah, I just want. In this case, all the gods except Athena and Hermes. Pretty much. As opposed to Lancelot, another absent father, who more or less is just like, fuck them kids. Yeah, I fucked a maiden and then left her. I'm a knight of the round table. Fuck you gonna do about it? I'm fucking Lancelot.
But Telemachus and the first son and father bonding is legendary.
Yes. Alright. I think that's it for this list. We're gonna call it there. If you're watching on YouTube, hey YouTube, how's it going? If you're enraged that I left out a character, let me know down below. In fact, make your own tier list. Send it to me. I'll do it very quick and send you my thoughts on that. For now, though, if you're watching on YouTube, come check us out on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/klidge radio. Also, you can check the links down below for the Patreon, the Discord. I believe I have a merch shop it's there. I need to actually do more merch options. So, actually, if you made it this far and you're interested in potential merch things, leave what you would like to see down below as well. Check out the art contest. Check out all of the links. For now, though, guys, keep tuning up. Peace out.